Welcome to Porch Picks. I'm Jason. This is Bradford, and we're two guys on a porch. And today we're just doing a couple of picks. We call these Porch Picks because this is where we just pick two bourbons, whiskeys, and we're highlighting them. Go to our channel, listen on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever you want to go. Check out our full podcast. But today is where we pick out a couple of whiskeys and we highlight them. And today we're looking at chicken cocks. I mean, we're tasting chicken. I mean, what is that? I don't know. What am I saying? Oh, shut up. What are we drinking today,
These
Bourbon?
are two whiskeys that we got at Kentucky Bourbon Festival last year. And I think about one of our faithful listeners said, guys, cut out the dick jokes.
Yeah.
And here we are making them because of what we're tasting today. So to be clear, the name of this whiskey is Chicken Cock, which is really the only whiskey that is the expression of the distiller grain and whatever, I can't remember the second name of, based out of Charleston, South Carolina. And they have a number of different iterations, and they are really kind of a boutique distiller. And like this Miller's Reserve that was released last year specifically for Kentucky Bourbon Festival, it's hard to find. These are expensive, relatively expensive whiskeys in the $125 price range.
Yeah, so it's actually a storied distillery founded in 1856.
Yep.
In Paris, Kentucky, Bourbon County, Kentucky. But before bourbon was actually really a thing, unfortunately, George Miller? Miller was his last name.
James Miller.
James Miller, excuse me. I think George is the guy who revived it. But anyway, James unfortunately died 4 years after he founded the distillery. His George actually was the master distiller or clerk who took it over from there. But anyway, the distillery, through the different iterations, they had a fire, they had prohibition. The distillery went away, then was revived by his family more recently, I think around 2012, not too long ago.
That's right.
And so we have two of their iterations here that Bradford said, we founded the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. It's really one's a kind of a cool name, but two, it's...
Wait, Chicken Cock is a cool name?
Well, cock of the walk. It's kind of, it's I don't know, it has some...
Well, here's the origin of the name, is that in common language in the 19th century, a chicken cock was a rooster. Right. So that was just another way of saying the same thing. And so that's where the name came from. It was not an intentional euphemism for penis or dick. But that euphemism goes back to the early 1600s. So it was not in common use at the time. It's become that now. You say it and we laugh because we're all 15-year-old boys inside. But to your point, you do have that kind of, you walking around like you're the cock of the walk. And we have terms like cocktail and cockpit that you don't even think of in that way. And that's the original derivation.
Yeah, it's more of a pride or, I look at me more than,
that's right.
than a phallic joke. One thing that I think is cool that they've done, this is the Cask Reserve, one of the two we're going to try, and we've not had either one of these. It's 130 proof, but it literally has written on the on the bottle, exactly the mash bill. This is aged 6 years, American oak, char 4, Rickhouse C, and it's handwritten on here. It's aged 6 years, but you look, it actually has the date exactly when it was barreled and when it was bottled. It's actually almost a 7-year-old age bourbon because it's only lacks 7 years by 4 days. So it's just a little bit of a unique thing to that.
And I wouldn't have thought about it had you not said it. Char 4 is unusual in the industry. Most is char 3. So what we should pick up on as a result of that is a heavier oak flavor. So I had the nose, and I do detect a high proof. There's alcohol for sure, and I do detect oak in the midst of some of that vanilla and caramel odors, if you will. So as I'm going to taste this after nosing it.
While you're tasting it, I'll introduce the second one. It's their Miller's Reserve. It's lower proof, but it's not low proof. It's 115. This is a blended whiskey. They've taken four of their barrels. There's what were the combination of the barrels? There was one was a high proof.
Yeah, you've got standard bourbon, you've got a high rye, and then you've got 2 wheated. And the reason that they did 4, this was created, named after the founder of the distillery, James Miller. And in 1860, they had a ship carrying barrels that sunk in the river close to where they were based between 4 states. And so to honor those 4 states, they combined those 4 different whiskeys into this blending to honor that sinking of the ship for Miller's Reserve.
So this is going back to that Cask Reserve. This is the higher proof. Not much of a nose, very soft in the palate. It almost has a little bit of a burnt orange taste to it.
I was
It's
going to
very
say,
light.
I have never been hit with something so fruity right off the bat.
Yeah.
And that burnt orange is the perfect way to put it. I felt like I had just ordered the fruit salad, and that was the first thing I tasted, which is
Yeah.
really unusual in such a high proof like that.
Yeah, and it leaves the mouth very quickly. It has a very light mouthfeel, and it leaves the mouth very quickly. So not much of a nose, great palate. The finish is boom, it's evaporated, it's gone. Wow, it's I don't know if I've had a bourbon or whiskey like this before.
Yeah, and I don't think I was expecting that, so it was a little bit of a shock initially. But when you think about it, it's kind of a pleasant shock. It's a good flavor. Very unusual, very unique. I will say, this Miller's Reserve, that's a different animal.
So
It's really good.
So between the 4 barrels, they've been the 4 barrels that went into the Miller's Reserve, they're aged between 8 to 10 years. So this is an older whiskey, which is kind of interesting because looking at the coloration on the cask strength looks darker. I guess maybe it's just the dilution in the color there, but the Miller's Reserve has been aged more.
Yeah, I would commend both of these to you, but without hesitation, this Miller's Reserve is exceptional. And I would go buy this. If you've got an extra $1.25 laying around, buy this instead of the other, and buy this instead of some other things, and you will not be disappointed.
Go get you a chicken cock is what
Go
you're saying?
get you some chicken cock. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. This is maybe it's the higher proof that scared me off with the first one, but I agree. This is a better whiskey here.
Yeah, this is 115 proof, if we didn't say that already. So it is, I think it makes a huge difference. It is a very well-blended, very complex, full mouthfeel, very smooth finish. It's a phenomenal whiskey.
Yeah, it's not a cheap whiskey, but for the price point, it's
Great value.
Yeah, great value. Yeah, so very good stuff. Well, thank you for hanging out on the porch with us with our porch picks. Come back next time and see what we have for you.
2 Guys on a Porch. Please like and subscribe, rate, all the stuff you do on all the social media platforms. Thanks, guys.
Let us know what your drink and cigar of choice is at twoguysonaporch.com, and you'll be entered into a drawing to get some 2 Guys on a Porch swag